Hi there once again, welcome back to Prestige Auctions. This is the video of the week where I give you my opinions on what I think will make the money in the auction this week. Well, not necessarily what will make the money, but more about the items that I would buy if I was buying and selling this week to try and make some money from the auction. Of course, as you look all around you, around the auction room, you can see there are so many different things that you could actually spend your money on this week. But which ones of those are likely to give you the best return, the best profit? Because ultimately we want to show you at Prestige Auctions in Grimsby ways to try and make money from either Prestige Auctions or your local auction room or from just buying and selling in general. There are many ways you can do this, but you need to have some kind of insider information if you're new to this of how the best way to do that is. So let's have a look in the auction room this week and let's see if there's any ways that I think you could make some money. I look around the auction room and I the same as you, I look and think, what are the items in here this week that I could potentially make a few quid from? Well, of course, everywhere that you look these days, there are different sites and things you can use on the internet to be able to sell things, but it's choosing the best ones for the best items. Now, me personally, for many years I used eBay. One of my favorites though now is Vinted. I think it's a lot more smoother, it's a lot more easier to use, and the categories are getting wider on there. So when you come in somewhere like a house clearance auction and you're looking for things to sell, well, there are some tips, there are some ways that you can get better returns for your money. And often with that is buying bigger boxes of assorted. Now you look in this box here, you've got retro glasses and things. In this box here, you've got coloured glass. Well, could you take that down and sell that for a profit? Well, yeah, absolutely you could. But is posting it the best option? Because you're adding risk into pottery and things like that. So I would go more for something like this. So lot number 26 in this week's auction, when you look up closely, is all brand new cosmetics, creams and things like that. Now, as an individual seller on Vinted, you are allowed to sell this stuff. You're allowed to sell it on eBay, you could sell it on Marketplace, you could even sell it to your friends, I suppose. But when you look there, that's a banana box, a fruit box, absolutely full of stuff. Now, if you can get that anywhere, I would say between 10 and 15 pounds, you are going to make money, because there are lots of individual lots in there that you could sell for £2, £3 and so on. When you look at that, £2, £3 times all of those items, there's a lot of money to be made in there. So that is certainly a box that I would buy this week. The other one I like here is box number 29. Why do I like this? It's because it all has got all these old retro teapots in. These are enamel teapots. These are quite hard to find these days in that size and in that condition as well. So you're going to find a good marketplace. Plenty of people looking to do 40s weekends or whatever and retro stuff that they're going to be able to buy that stuff because they like it and it looks the part. When it comes up here, you're sort of looking around again. When you're coming into the auction room, look into baskets, things like this. I mean, you look in that basket there, hidden away, and there's some 00 gauge trains and things in there. Now, these, any times it comes to model railway stuff, there is a big marketplace for it. There is also for this stuff as well. Pokemon has come back with a vengeance recently. So when I look around the auction room and start seeing Pokemon items, I start thinking, well, I wish I understood more about it. But if you do understand more about this stuff, there is money to be made in it, because, again, you're buying it by the box. I mean, whatever that is there, look, that's still sealed. And these are the sort of things that are coming in, week out, and you can make money on them. What I would say, though, is don't go in blind. Don't go in too blind. Do your research on these things, because you can end up getting into a bidding war with a collector that could cost you a lot of money, and you may not get the big return. So again, lots of research. Here, postcards. We had postcards last week. Now, I've always been a fan of postcards. Very easy to list, very easy to sell. And you nearly always buying in bulk. So when you look there, all of those there, there's, you know, maybe a couple of hundred postcards there. You're getting that at 20 and 30 quid and selling them at £1, even £1 each. You know, think of the return that you're going to get. I've always bought postcards. I've always loved buying postcards. 102 Lincolnshire postcards, mainly Scunthorpe in there. So you can be selling into particular areas. So again, something that I would buy. What would I buy these? Oh, absolutely. Look at the size of these. There are kilos and kilos and kilos of Lego. In that one there, and that one there as well. Now, I've noticed a lot of people online selling bags of Lego by the kilo, by 2 kilo bags, 5 kilo bags, and it sells for really good money. You can see in there that there's a variation of normal Lego and Lego Technic as well. So again, understanding what's in there, there's probably people in there as well. Some of the Lego people can be worth some real money. So again, this is when you need to come down to your auction room, have a good look, do your research, because there is money to be made in all this stuff. Again, another box of cosmetics and things there, but a makeup as well. Again, stuff like that can really net you a good return. Thing is, when you start getting more money, when you start getting better at this, you can start looking more at the individual items. But if you want to play safe at the start, then the mixed boxes are where to go, because you are minimizing your risk. In the auction this week, there's lots of fantastic old pine as well. Pine, this lovely captain's chair down here. Now, again, if you're a bit more of a seasoned buyer and you know a little bit of your way around, then you could start buying into this stuff. It's not as cheap to buy. You need more space to store it. But when you look at some of this antique pine that we've got in here this week, and there is lots of it, then you know, if you've got the marketplace and the space to sell this stuff, you can make some proper money on it, especially if not many of the dealers turn up to buy the stuff, which they often don't. And you know, furniture buyers can be few and far between sometimes, so you can make real money on them. Stuff like this, would I buy that? Yes, if it's working okay, I would. If you've got to buy batteries for it, which you often do when these have been stood for a while, be careful. Don't always buy those. Just think, oh, I could get 200 quid for that if I can get it for 50 quid. Because then you might end up spending another 100 quid on batteries or more. So again, check them, make sure that they're working. We've actually got that one on charge at the moment, as you can see, and it looks okay. No, it did look okay. Oh, someone's unplugged it. That's why. Dear me. They've obviously been lotting up and someone's unplugged it. But again, worth checking. Stuff like this. 197, 95, 96, 97, 98. These big bottles of fairy liquid. Now, some people that, you know, watch auctions think it's all about antiques and collectibles, but, you know, these are big, you know, 100 washes of fairy non-bio. They would be expensive. If you can get them at 4 and 5 quid each, you could double your money on Facebook Marketplace potentially on those. I'm not saying you can 100% because I don't know the full prices of these things, but trying to give you some ideas of what you can buy and sell. This week's jewellery cabinet there, you can see there are lots of various bits and bobs. What I'd say when it comes to jewellery, know your stuff. Don't go in blind. Don't go in thinking you're a big dealer straight away, because you will get your fingers burned if you don't know what you're looking at. When you're paying 25 to 30 pound a gram for 9 carat gold, it doesn't take many grams for you to lose all your profit if you get it wrong. So speak to the auctioneer, speak to people in the auction room, stand around, listen to people. You know, people will by accident often give you information. Another thing that I'd also look at in this week's auction is all of this crafting gear. The crafting market, and you look in both tables are full of it, the crafting market in the UK, ever since the COVID lockdowns, has become massive. If you could have had this stuff during COVID and been selling it on Facebook Marketplace, you would have made an absolute fortune. All of this crafting stuff these days is expensive to buy, and there are lots of people doing it. So you've got the demand there all the time. If you've got the demand and if you've got the supply, people are going to buy it off you. So any of this crafting stuff like that, always worth a look at. And as always, one of my old favourites, boxes of records. Plenty of money to be made in records if you buy the right things. I've not really looked through any of these yet this week, but when you start pulling them out, you can start seeing there's 1 or 2 good titles in them. So again, even the record boxes themselves can be worth a few quid. So there you go, everybody. I would suggest to all of you that you can absolutely make money from the auction by coming into buy these bigger boxes and all of these collectibles. And if you're looking to make a few quid, keep watching the videos that we're putting out on Prestige Auctions in Grimsby, because we are doing our damnedest to try and teach people how to make a few quid from their local auction. So thanks ever so much for watching this short YouTube video. If you do enjoy the content that we're putting out there, then please give us a bit of a like there, leave a comment maybe, and hit that all important subscribe button. And we'll see you all very soon at the auction.